What's up? If you haven't been to my channel before, my name's Phillip Skraba. I'm a photographer and cinematographer. I'm here to teach you how to take better photos, film better videos, and have you along for all my crazy creative experiences. So a few days ago, I posted this photo on social media, just promoting my latest film about the Sony a7 III, and I got a whole load of questions as how I made this camera levitate. I thought that would be a really cool idea for a tutorial, so here we are. So imagine you're a photographer and you just got that shiny new lens in from Amazon, or you're a makeup artist and you just got that crazy new shade of lipstick and you don't want to take the same photo everybody else has taken. Imagine you take this lipstick, right? You put it just above your hand and you float it. It's magic, it's just floating there. Watch this film carefully and I'm going to help you take that badass photo you've been looking for on Instagram. People are going to be going trigger happy on the like button. You're going to wake up and your account's gone viral. Now let's roll the intro. Boom! I'm going to show you two ways how to achieve this effect. Now the first way is real simple. You're going to take a whole load of photos, but it requires absolutely no Photoshop. Now the second way, it's my favorite way. It's a bit more time consuming and it does require you to process your image through Photoshop, but I'm going to teach you step by step exactly what you need to do. So by the end of this film, you're going to be a master of floating. You're going to be like zzz. That's going to be you. The first method is the throw your item in the air method. Now I use this method when I'm out and about and I don't conveniently have any fishing wire stashed in my back pocket. If you're by yourself, you'll have to use a remote trigger or a wireless one like I'm using today. If you don't have one of these, you can always set your camera to self-timer. It normally flashes when it's about to take a photo, so you can know exactly when to throw the item in the air. Once you have your item in focus, make sure you switch your camera to manual focus so it's not searching every time you throw your item up in the air. And make sure you have a fast enough shutter speed so you can freeze the item as soon as it's in the right place so there's no blur. Okay, now we have everything set. The focus is on manual, so you know exactly where you're going to be holding your item. Let me show you how it's done. This might take about 4 million goes. Method 2. Method 2 is my favorite above all. Now it's tea. I love tea. It's really simple, it's extremely precise, and it's difficult to go wrong. You don't have to take 500 billion, million, zillion photos like I did with method 1. It took a really long time to get it exactly where I wanted and to get it in focus. Now with method 2, all you need is your camera, tripod, C-stand, a hook that you can attach somewhere if you don't have a C-stand, and some fishing wire. So you just attach your item to a fishing wire. Now if you want your item to be in a certain position, you're obviously going to have to attach a second anchor point, and you just take a photo or two. So once again, make sure your focus is in manual, otherwise there is going to be a lot of focus searching. Right, let's try this. Fishing wire, steady your item, hand, whatever position you like. Just, you know, you can even so just zzz, but we're just going to do it the simple kind of, you know, the levitating way. Zzz. A monitor comes in really handy, taking this kind of photo, seeing exactly where you want to position your hand. You want to position your hands so it's perfect. Now we've got the photos imported into Lightroom. I did a quick selection because there was a lot of photos. As you can see in some of them, there's warping because I was throwing and it just looks ugly. I had a hard time making my hand look realistic as if it was levitating something. Instead it came out looking like Gollum reaching for the ring. I think this last one probably looks the best, so I'm gonna give it like 5 stars. So the first one looks pretty cool. There's actually nothing I have to do with it. it's as it is, so there's nothing I have to mess with in Photoshop. I can literally just scroll down, make sure the enable profile corrections are on. I'll push and pull a few of those magical Adobe sliders to bring it to perfection. Just give it a little bit more exposure, pump that contrast up a little bit, crush those blacks, get the whites just a touch. Just a little bit of clarity on that. Tiny bit of vibrance. And I think that looks pretty cool as it is. The second one, I had a lot more control over what I was doing. The sharpness, how I was holding my hand, my facial expressions. I wasn't doing a million things at once. So I felt this came out a lot better. I really like this one, and I think we'll keep this one, so I'll give it a 5 as well. Now if we go to rated, we've got 2 images. Now I'm going to select them both and sync the settings from the one where I was throwing the remote, so the fishing wire one has the exact same settings. Now we're going to right click on the photo with the fishing wire, go to edit in Photoshop. It will open up in Photoshop. And this is really simple. Now I chose quite a clean background for this. If you do have a funky background, just go really slow. Now go to the left hand side where you've got your tools, spot healing brush tool. Slowly, you don't have to rush. Unless you're in a rush, then go really fast, but you won't be happy with it. Now it's like magic. I think Adobe actually did make this magical. That's it. Just a little bit more there. It's gone. Save. Now that's both of them right next to each other. I have to say I prefer the one with the fishing string, though the one where I'm throwing it up in the air looks pretty cool too. It does look like it's warping a little bit. The fishing wire photo was just a lot more precise. It was not as time consuming. It took me about 20th of the time it took me to do the other photo. So that's that. It's that simple. 2 awesome methods to levitate items in photos, to wow your clients, to get some crazy amount of likes on Instagram. Just be careful, that stuff's gonna go viral. You're welcome. So that's about it for today. I'll catch you on the other side.